Greetings, sports fans. Happy Wednesday from Tonopah, where it's an unfortunate 29 degrees outside, and between the temperature and just a general feeling of fatigue, I'm not going out to do laundry. I'll just do it first thing in the morning. Because if I don't do it then, it's not going to get done before I need to be on shift at noon to do online assist stuff. And I got to have a clean work shirt to do that, just in case somebody wants a video call. Um, anyway, health wise, I think I'm still pretty much on track. Um, the left leg still feels kind of warm, but it's not as widespread as it used to be. Also, all of the most of the skin that's been flaking off is gone, which is nice because that means it doesn't itch so much anymore. and Aside from my weight, which continues to creep upward, all my other numbers are good. The blood sugar has remained in the normal range for pretty much the last couple of days, and my blood pressure is actually normal. So here's hoping it stays that way. I'm kind of hoping to keep the weight in the 360s through the end of the month, and we'll see how that works out for me. Um, as far as work goes, I'm working on several returns right now. Um, if you want me to do your stuff and you haven't already sent me your stuff, download the MyBlock app onto your phone, scan your documents in, and send them to me, and I'll whip on them for you. The IRS has opened the processing gate as of Monday, so as soon as I get it done and you tell me it looks good, through Approve Online, we can fire it off and get you your refund. Um, Most of my time on the clock this week is being spent doing online assist stuff. I got 4 hours scheduled tomorrow and another 4 hours on Friday. And then things get interesting. I don't have anything scheduled for the weekend, but they did schedule me to come up to Reno for next week, which is the second week of First Peak. And if somebody wants a more detailed explanation of that, I'll be happy to provide it in the next video. But it's going to be a little bit tight if they insist on me being up there. I could probably afford to get the gas up there, but I hope they have a hotel room or a spare room or something ready for me because I don't think I'm going to have enough on this Friday's check to cover 3 days in Reno plus the gas back and forth. All the more so because on Thursday I got to motor down US 95 to Las Vegas and catch a room so I can have my deal with my eye appointment on Friday afternoon. Normally I'd just catch a ride with the county, but they don't work on Friday, so that means I got to go down ahead of time, which means I get to drive about 8 hours down from Reno to Vegas, which is going to be all kinds of fun. I'm really looking forward to it, as you can tell. But at least that's going to be the affordable part because my disability payments drop on the first and the third, so I should be able to pay my bills, drop off the rent check when I come back from the VA, and generally have all my bills covered and be able to afford to drive down, drive back, eat, sleep, etc. So we'll see how it goes. Um, the working part of it is all right. The online assist is a little different from last year, um, but I had a little bit of trouble on Wednesday's shift. Tuesday's shift, but I caught on pretty quickly, and the second line supervisors were Johnny on the spot when I had questions about some things that were not quite clear, um, either from the textbook or having to do with the software. Um, so that got hashed out pretty quickly. um, as far as the Blockwork software, it doesn't look like they messed with it since last year. Um, I'm finding all of the same things in all the same places they were last year, and for the most part, I'm just waiting for documents from a couple of clients, and and I figure those ought to be done by Friday night at the very least, depending on, in my case, whether the credit union harfs up the 1099 interest that they owe me. I've been told they're going to send it out at the end of the month. But if I have e-statements, which I do, um, it'll show up in my email with the statements. Yay! So, um, not really a whole lot else to say here. Um, I have kind of fallen back into this weird pattern, which I guess is actually the way the human body was supposed to work originally, according to some articles I've seen on the internet. You know, I'll go to bed and I'll sleep for 3 or 4 hours, wake up around midnight, 1 in the morning, and I'll be awake for an hour or two, and then go back to sleep until 8 or 9 o'clock. Um, in some ways, this is kind of inconvenient, but on the other hand, I notice that I'm not waking up as dehydrated as I used to when I was just sleeping straight through and needed a bottle of Gatorade Zero to get the motor running first thing in the morning. It's a good thing I don't need that because the supply chain hassles have caught up with us here in Tonopah. And if you want Gatorade Zero, you're just SOL, buddy. Um, Fortunately, I don't need it. It's handy to have around. It's probably doing me some good on a level that I can't really detect or appreciate. But I can get by without it, which is a good thing because I kind of have to. Um, yeah, that's about all I really have to say. Except for those of you that do blogging and follow this, or for those of you that read a lot of blogs and follow this video channel, um, Stacy McCain is doing Let's Blog About Mass Formation Psychosis tomorrow, and I haven't decided yet whether I want to do a separate post full of links to people who have blogged about it, or whether I just want to fold it in with the regular link post. I've got plenty of time to make up my mind. I might not even do it until Friday. Um, but if you see a likely looking post on the topic of mass formation psychosis, which Google and Twitter and Facebook, for all I know, don't want you discussing because it doesn't fit the narrative. If you run across somebody blogging about it, shoot me the link. I'll give them the hookup. So anyway, also on the subject of blogging, or at least next door to it, um, when I woke up in the middle of the night last night, I was struck by the urge to download the Fox News app, and lo and behold, the first thing on it was a segment from Tucker Carlson where he asked the very logical question: how is it these people in the Biden administration can get all excited about the borders of the Ukraine and pay absolutely no attention to our borders? What's up with that? There's a couple of obvious answers to that, which Mr. Carlson didn't get into, probably because he doesn't want to get his underwear and other personal belongings scoped by the FBI first thing tomorrow morning. But I'd be willing to guess that having the Bidens and the Pelosi's sticky fingers in the Ukraine gas oligarchy might have a little bit to do with their higher level of concern over the borders of Ukraine. Anyway, we'll see how that all works out. Whether Comrade Vladimir manages to get what he wants from the U.S. and NATO at the negotiating table, or we get to see a bunch of dead Russians and Ukrainians and Belarusians, and God knows where it's going to end up. But given the competency of this current administration and the Defense Department, I'm not real optimistic. Anyway, if I were Bridget Fetisi, this would be where I tell you to touch my bells and buttons and subscribe. But I'm not as good looking as she is, so I'm not going to ask you to do that unless you're strongly motivated to do so. And might do this again Friday, might do it over the weekend. You know, keep you up to date on what's going on. TLDR, healthy, getting better. Maybe going to Reno next week. We'll see how it works out. Hope you're having a good night and sleep well.